What do you guess when you cross an untested, unproven of efficacy and safety experimental intravenously injected drug? What happens when you cross that with an entire population of a planet? You get two groups: the yes people and the I've got a brain that works, it functions quite well, thanks. I think I'll just leave that there for now and just see what happens, people. Well, then you cross that with, if you don't take it, you'll lose your job. You end up with nothing but yes people in the law system. In that law system, there's nothing lawful about it. In the legislation enforcement branch, the government strong arm group. Look, I can't call them police anymore. They're not police. They're not policing anything. They're just enforcing legislation. That's not policing. That's not upholding the rule of law. That's not even closely related to it. But the problem is that they've got all these other yes people going, no, we need more cops. We seem to have a systemic problem now worldwide where all of the so-called police services are nothing but enforcement agencies. The jackboots. And that's all we've got. Yes, people, they'll follow any order, no matter how wrong it is. How do you know? They're not capable of critical thought. They just do as they're told. Why? Because now they get to have some authority and tell somebody else what to do. Please tell me what to do so I can tell everyone else what to do. I don't have to think for myself, but, I get to have my little fucking 15 minutes of fucking I'm the man. I'm the boss now. I am captain of this ship. Look into my eyes. I am captain now. What else has happened? What else has gone in concurrence with this experimental vaccination of modified RNA, which modifies your DNA? That's what the M stands for, modified RNA. It modifies it via spike proteins and graphene oxide and a few other things. What else seems to have been happening over the last 5 years? Anybody that can put their fucking ego down for 5 minutes and just think about this, what has been going on for the last 5 years or so now? People are getting less and less critical thought minded, critically minded, less and less apathetic, less and less willing to discern the situation for what it is, less and less willing to de-escalate, and extremely willing, almost as if they have a bloodlust. Are we back to the Roman Colosseum days, are we? Where everybody just wants to run around with torches and pitchforks and knock the heads off poppies? Because that seems to be where we're at. You can't teach anybody anything anymore because they all fucking will know everything they think. I'm not the brightest person in the world, that's for sure. But one thing that I don't pride myself on, I'm thankful for the gift of, thank you Lord, is the ability to sit back and watch a bit. That probably comes as a gift from being an only child from a broken home that went to a really, really good private education, and then the complete polar opposite of another really good education from a private convent Catholic school to the two roughest public high schools in the state at the time. Now, everyone was scared to play football against Reece High in the 80s. Everyone. And the 90s. Especially the 80s. Right. Queenstown was scared of Reece High School. And they were the only They're the only football team in the country that had a gravel football oval. Gravel. Like car park gravel. Ha! It didn't have any grass on it. There was no pitch. So I went from one system where you helped and loved your brethren to one where everybody wanted to bash their brethren. Why? For fun. People used to fight for fun at high school. Didn't mean they were enemies, it was fun. It took me a while to get my head around that. I got my head around it eventually. It was called building skin. Building character. It's character building. Anyway, watch this. Just watch this, because we seem to have a systemic problem now worldwide with this sort of bullshit. And no, come back for a second. Why? Well, you have to lower the standards now in order to get people recruited, because people with any empathy or any critical thought or sense of conscientiousness, any common decency, is leaving the force because they didn't join the service to become a force. They joined the service to serve the people, not to be a strong arm for the government. We've got big problems, people. If we don't pull our head out of this real quick, if we don't get on top of this real quick, real soon, you're all going to be going, oh, we all thought Dave was just a fucking cuckoo and hated cops. No, I don't. Quite the opposite. Quite the opposite. The world would be fucked without them. But the problem is we don't have any now. We don't have a police service. This is what you need to get your head round. We don't have one. I know, right, Sky News, I know. Sensationalism and, stir up trouble news. That said, though, it doesn't mean that what they're showing you is a lie. It just means that they're showing it to you to stir up some kind of trouble. Come back. Come back. Come back. Come back, Wilson. Feed me, Seymour. Okay, like, I know, central casting, all that. It's probably why we got all these foreigners and weirdos in our news now. But they're going to show you some real footage, because this is kind of going to be difficult to fake. Secondly, we do have a policy that's been passed, legislature that's been passed in Parliament, where trickle down coppers, trickle down enforcement agencies, recruited through Queensland at $500 a year for 5 years from foreign countries. And why do we need this? This was passed back during COVID, 2021, I want to say. So we're about at the end of that. 5 5s are 25, that's 2,500 foreign cops from foreign countries that don't have Australian citizenship operating as police in our country. That's called an occupation. That's called treason. By any other name, it's still exactly the same thing. Alright? That's terrorism. That is the definition of terrorism. It's alright if the government does it to their own country, is it? Is that how we roll now? Right. I know. Millions of dollars worth of production here.
Now, over in the UK, where a review has revealed that over 100 officers and staff at the Metropolitan Police were wrongly hired, including 2, get this, serial rapists, thanks to a relaxation of the force's recruitment process. A vetting panel, which partly aimed to improve diversity, which of course we all know is our strength, overturned more than 100 previously denied applications, including the application of a man who was alleged to have sexually assaulted a child. Joining me now to talk about this and more is star host of GB News, Patrick Christys. Patrick, this is a shocking story just when I thought these things couldn't get any worse.
Pause. What did I say on another video? Great Britain News, GB News and Sky News are both Murdoch media. And where's Murdoch from? Murdoch media is based out of the United States.
Absolutely bonkers. This is jaw-dropping, it's mind-boggling, and surely this has to be the final nail in the coffin for the diversity brigade. Sadly, it probably won't. So the Metropolitan Police Force, a force that's already been blighted by a lot of scandal, inaction, huge crime waves, all of this stuff, they decided that the best thing for them to do was to introduce essentially diversity quotas. The problem for them was that they didn't meet their diversity quotas, so they went back to look at a load of applicants who had failed to become police officers. They'd failed, and they thought, we'll give them another go. And then they let them in. And unfortunately for the Metropolitan Police, and unfortunately for all of us, that included people like a man who is now serving 17 and a half years in prison for 13 counts of rape and several against a child under the age of 13 as well. And the even more damning thing here is that he had already been investigated for paedophilia, but that case was dropped. He'd failed a decision initially to let him into the police because he'd failed their background checks. They decided to relax that and let him in, singularly because he happens to be a black man, and they wanted to hit their diversity quotas. It is astonishing. In all, 114 decisions were overruled, and they were allowed to come into the police force. 25 of them involved going on to commit criminal offences or misconduct. So we literally, just for the sake of ticking diversity boxes, employ people who ended up committing some of the most horrendous crimes in the police force. I mean, you couldn't make it up, really.
Well,
it's astonishing.
I mean, you couldn't, but of course it's the truth. And I always love having guests like yourself from the UK over on this program and my programs, because this is a warning system for Australians that this is where we are heading. Which brings me to the next topic here, which is the UK's Home Secretary, Shabana Mahmood, who has been accused of hoodwinking Britons after she threatened a Trump-style visa crackdown on a trio of African nations who refused to take back citizens that were deported. But it doesn't sound like that quite happened. Patrick, tell us a bit more about this one.
I mean, this is utterly laughable. So, Shabana Mahmood is our Home Secretary. She threatened some African countries and said, hey, if you don't take back your illegal migrants, we're going to block visas, legal visas for you. She said, the days of Britain being a soft touch are over. Okay, great. What countries did she go for? Did she talk about Somalia? Did she talk about Eritrea, Sudan, Nigeria? No. She went for Angola, Namibia, and the Democratic Republic of Congo. In total, Angola and Namibia had 3 illegal migrants into the UK in the last few years. They have now agreed to take them back. But the Democratic Republic of Congo is now playing hardball with Great Britain. There are 11 illegal migrants, apparently, that came over last year from the DRC, and they're refusing to take them back. So, absolutely astonishing. As it turns out that modern Britain has absolutely no leverage over the Democratic Republic of Congo, because the DRC knows that they can just appeal things in international human rights courts. I mean, it is an absolute shocker of a story. It's completely not worth the paper it's written on in terms of these threats to these countries. Meanwhile, we've had around 40-odd thousand illegal migrants arrive in Britain last year. We've already welcomed our first batch of illegal migrants across the Channel so far this year. And do you know that 50% of all new homes in Britain by 2030 will be occupied by newly arrived migrants. Now, yeah, obviously, loads of those will be legal, don't get me wrong, but still, pretty damning situation when you think that, you know, we're obviously not really in control of our borders, are we? I mean, it's an absolute nightmare, this.
Well, yeah, exactly, and it's why I say that things like the courts of human rights and also the refugee conventions need to be strongly reconsidered, including here in Australia. Hey, just quickly, Patrick, tell me about this proposal to lower the blood alcohol limit for drink driving in England and Wales, and how even a single pint now could prevent you from getting behind the wheel. A lot of people are saying this is a war on traditional country pubs, and God knows England needs to save these as much as they can. What's going on here?
Yeah, look, just quickly, look, left-wing socialists don't like fun, and they certainly don't like British culture, which means that pubs are firmly in their crosshairs. At the moment, you can have about 2 pints and drive. What they want to do is make it so that you can have basically less than 1 pint and drive, which will stop you going to the pub. It's not really about drink driving and road safety. They already do this in Scotland. The figures show that road traffic collisions went up. They also show that alcohol consumption remained the same. People just stopped going to the pub. So this is going to end up being the death of pubs, especially in rural areas. And Labour basically is starting accused of, like I said, going to war with pubs. And I do think that maybe like every single supervillain, there's an origin story, isn't there? Well, Sir Keir Starmer was very famously booted out of a pub during COVID by a landlord who said, "Get that man out of my pub." And I can't help but wonder whether or not ever since then he's thought, "I'm going to come for you." But look, they don't understand British culture, this Labour government. They don't understand British life, and they don't want to see us carry on with pubs. They're also, anyway, I'll leave it to you.
Look, I'm going to let you go to the pub now. Thank you so much for joining me and explaining this. And we got to save our pubs both in Britain and in Australia, because that's a pretty important gathering place. Thank you so much, Patrick Christie, for your time.
So that, I'm there myself. What's the idea of stopping pubs? What's the idea? It's been going on for ages. Come to Burnie. The only nightlife there is an absolute fucking dive of a place where everyone's pinged off their dick on fuck knows what. The place wouldn't make any money. It's Green's Hotel. I can't see that place is making money. It's the biggest dive shithole nightclub I've ever seen in my life. Where the toilets flood out and the whole toilet block area and the smoking area gets flooded out with piss and shit. Everyone there's off their fucking trolley on fuck knows what. You always got to have your head on a swivel. There's no nightlife for my age group at all. Pubs shut at 10 o'clock, even on a Friday night. I couldn't tell you if there's even such a thing as happy hour anymore. All the meals are shit at all the pubs. We don't have a decent restaurant worth pissing on. And this is everywhere. This is the norm now, the new normal. The new normal's designed to die. It's designed to fall over. Why? Because they're crashing the economy. They're not trying to save shit. But while everybody's little one-trick ponies and can only focus on one thing at a time, and what about this? And then, hey, everyone, look over there. They'll run over there. Hey, look, they're taking their guns away. And they'll run over there. Hey, look, everybody, One Nation's fucking winning in the polls. Of course they're winning in the polls. Central casting, they're tremendous. Just ask Bill Turnbull about it when he was sprung during his campaign trail using central casting to manipulate the polls. Yeah, that was the thing. Have a look in the Guardian News. Oh, look, everybody, we'll go back a bit in time, will we? Look, everybody, Julia Gillard's bringing in the Data Retention Act. Oh, no, they're going to get all of our text messages and emails and phone calls, and they're going to know all of our private conversations. Pony fucking rabbit comes along. I'm going to repeal that. It's un-Australian and an invasion on our privacy and unconstitutional. Gets his ass in the seat. Not only does he extend it from 7 to 11 years, he broadens the fucking spectrum of what data they're going to collect from text messages and stuff to fucking everything. Everything. What I'm doing now has been collected. Everything you watch. You watch a bit of porn, they got that. Oh, yeah. They probably got some weird footage of me. Don't care. Don't care. Why? Because I'm quite sure they got worse things to worry about than that. Well, they don't. But our society does, obviously. We got pedos in the police. It's not isolated to England. We've had pedos in the police over here for fucking donkey's years. They're everywhere. The place is rife with them. We got police that look like they're fuck knows what they're on, but you look at them and they're just fucking big black fucking circles for eyes and they just look straight through you. And other cops getting around and you see them and they're fucking scrawny, they're just average looking like you and me. You see them 6 months later and they're built like a brick shithouse and always walking around sweating and covered in pimples. You know what that is, don't you? Anabolic steroids. How do you think the trickle-down economics, or the trickle-down bullshit of bureaucracy seems to be working so well when it's not working well in our favour at all? But they're all getting fat and rich and doing all right, and they, you don't see that in our area. I don't suppose you would with your 10-foot high fucking fences and your fucking 300 metre long driveway. Would you, Amanda Keegan? Would you, Ken Dorsey, out on your farm? Local members of council. No, you wouldn't see any of that. I mean, let's be honest. One Nation has got central casting here, Sky News, helping them to fudge the polls. Because Sky News doesn't just have a news channel on YouTube or on TV. There's the whole Sky News, Rupert Murdoch media, where they have a newspaper and an entire news corp, where they have multiple news outlets with faceless people writing stories in various news rags around the country, where they manipulate stories online, where they have people like Anita Z and a few people that have gone to America spinning the Australian story over there, and we've got old mate here from America spinning stories over here. That's central casting, people. That is central casting. They have actors that turn up. Who else uses central casting? Pay people a shitload of money to fudge the polls and to fudge an election and to overwhelm a populace to manipulate how many seats that they were going to win in all the electorates a few years back. They all had red t-shirts on. Dan, what's his... Why have I forgotten his name? Who can forget his name? He ran someone over. Oh, I can't be doing this. I might be getting dementia. Victorian. You watch, as soon as I get up, I'll be like, oh yeah. Victorian Premier. Dan Andrews, hey. Daniel Andrews. Who else is using central casting? Jacinta Allen. What other types of central casting do we have? Topher Field. I can't confirm nor deny that 100%, but you know, he's fitting it, you know. Am I profiling much? Or am I just noticing a pattern? See, if the shoe fits the foot and it smells like that, and it smells like someone's sock, it's probably their shoe. It's not profiling, it's pattern forming. If I want to profile someone, I'll profile someone like I did Dinesh Perusmal, the detective that never went and got me tools back, but, you know, used my information to go and make a shitload of arrests all over the place. When you're supposed to be looking for my tools, well, I never got my tools back. But apparently if I did things a little bit better next time, that might get a better result. What do you mean? I'm not the detective, fuck ass, you are. Do your fucking job right. Yeah, no worries, mate. Let's just put my head on the chopping block, will we? We have a systemic problem with our entire policing system. And it goes by the name of Freemasonry. Yes, people. It goes by the name of, let's get the dumbest motherfucker who will follow orders and is quite happy to throw down. Let's get somebody who's pretty good at hiding their narcissism and making it look like stoicism. Is this person stoic? No, they're a narcissist that are doing their best to keep a lid on it. Why are they doing the best to keep a lid on it? Because they need to own the room. They have to control the situation. They have to be the boss of everything. The boss of cool, the boss of tough, the boss of... You know what? They got to be the best runner, the best fighter, the best swimmer. And if they can't be, they'll just tell you they are without proving it. Because they don't want to be shown up. Grandiose narcissistic personality disorder. They're good, just ask them. There's another name for that in Australia, it's called F.I.G.J.A.M. Fuck, I'm good, just ask me. That's what we have. That's our police service for you. It's not a service, it's a force. That's our police force for you. Fuck, I'm good, just ask me.